Hello guys, today we are going to be replacing the PCV valve in a 2004 Toyota Matrix XR with a 1.8 liter engine. This same process should apply to 2003 through 2008 models of the Toyota Matrix, Pontiac Vibe, and Toyota Corolla, I want to say. Any of the ones that had the 1.8 liter engine in it from that year era or section of time. Really super easy to do. You don't need a lot of fancy tools or anything, and it just should take a few minutes. They made this a really easy process to do. Let me show you what we've got to do after you've got the hood up and your your hood support in position. First thing you do as you look at the engine cover, you've got two 10 millimeter, in this case they are Acorn nuts, and you're supposed to have two push pin clips that you have to pry up. This of course is missing it because this car has a lot of miles. But you just want to take these out and remove this top cover. On this side, the nut comes off. On the other side, the whole stud comes out with it. So be aware of that. You may have either happen to you. See, the stud is completely off on this. That is perfectly okay though. So, as we look right over here, let me get you guys centered a little bit. And it's hard to even notice it because it's in such a, almost like a hidden spot. Right here, underneath this, is where your PCV valve is. So I think I'm going to see if I can get this clip off for this. There we go, and I'm just going to bend that down out of the way. We don't want to forget to put that back on. And right back here, there is a clip that goes on and holds this hose in place. I can pull back on the foam cover there. That's like a heat protectant cover. And pull that back, and if I'm careful, I might have to have a screwdriver to help me out to pry gently on the back of it. Here, remember, a lot of this stuff is going to be old, so it may need a little bit of help. There you go. That hose is off, and we're going to be putting this in its place. It's a Fram PCV valve. The part number on this is FV406. These are super cheap. They're just a few bucks, and that's all it is right there. Let me find out what size that is. I think it is a 19 millimeter. I can't remember. And of course, as usual for me, I was wrong. It is not a 19 millimeter. A 7/8 happens to fit it just right. So we're going to get back in here. Well, the 7/8 fits the new one just right. I can't guarantee the old one. I may have to go get an adjustable wrench. It was not 19 millimeter. Let me see if a 13/16 will fit the old one. That may be an aftermarket in there. So you got to fish around and see what fits. And a 13/16 doesn't either. So here we go with the adjustable wrench. Alrighty, with the adjustable wrench, what we run into is you can't get on there easy because this is too fat. So you may have to end up taking out there's a couple of bolts over here, one right there I think. No, one right here and one under here that removes this wiring harness piece out of the way so you can get over to that easier. I'm also going to see if I have a deep well socket that'll fit that real quick, so we'll be right back. Alright, so interestingly enough, the 7/8 socket fits on there. So I am removing it right now. Ooh, I barely got anything going into the socket. So I just gotta take my time with it. But anyway, let me get that off and then we'll get the new one on. Alrighty, so we have that off and it's not too bad, but it rattles. And when you hear it rattle like that, let me grab the new one. So you hear it rattle a little bit on that one too. The check valve. This one's excessive though, so I think that one's probably going to be worn out. I also want to look down inside the hose here. I'm going to get my flashlight out. Actually, I can just use this and look down inside there. And it looks to be nice and clean. I'm going to take a screwdriver or something, and what I have is the end of a little paintbrush here. And just kind of push down in there. See if I feel any obstructions or see a lot of stuff on this. And I don't, so that hose is really clean. If it is not, if it is clogged up, you'll need to clean that all the way down to the point where it enters the manifold here. That one is in good shape, so we do not have to worry about it. Now on the replacement part, right here, I always like to put just a touch of anti-seize when I put a part that I may not be removing in forever, just so it makes it a little easier to get out the next time around. And then we are going to put this right back in. Use my 7/8 here. And it's just going to take some time with my 7/8. It's just beyond what your fingers can do. So, let me get that tightened back down. I'm sure you guys have better things to do than watch that. Although it is almost there. Those threads are surprisingly short. Almost there. And there, it's bottomed out. I don't have to tighten it up a whole lot, just a little bit. Put the hose back on and put my spring clamp back in place to hold it. And it is good. The spring clamp doesn't have to be special because the end of this has this little thing here to keep it from popping off. So the clamp just clamps down along this so it can't pull over that easy. That's all there is to it. All I've got to do now is put my top back on to the engine. Do not forget to plug this back in, otherwise you will know it because you'll be running on only 3 cylinders. And when you've got a 1.8 liter engine, that's not enough. So I'm going to put this top back on and we are done, guys. You see how easy that was. Even if I would have done this in real time, which I almost did, just a couple of minutes that I spent having to find a wrench that actually fit onto this wasn't that much. I spent under 15 minutes doing this whole job, even with that. So, if I can do this that quickly and easily, you guys can do this too. Take your time. If the parts are old, especially that hose, be careful getting them off. Otherwise, it's a piece of cake. And this will definitely make a difference in the health and lifespan of your vehicle. This is a piece that gets ignored a lot, but it is an important piece. So I just, since these things are like $6, I don't like to question whether they're working. Every year or two I just replace them anyway on stuff like this because $6, come on guys, it's a lot cheaper than the engine. See you later.